This message comes from Greenlight. Ready to start talking to your kids about financial literacy? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app that teaches kids and teens how to earn, save, spend wisely, and invest with your guardrails in place. With Greenlight, you can send money to kids quickly, set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on your kids' spending with real-time notifications. Join millions of parents and kids building healthy financial habits together on Greenlight. Get started risk-free at greenlight.com/Wondery.
Looking for your best sleep ever? Sleep Number smart beds are literally made for you. They adapt to your changing needs. So whether you're dealing with sore muscles or running hot at night, your bed automatically adjusts for optimal comfort. Want softer, firmer, cooler, warmer? With personalized firmness settings and temperature control that cools up to 20 times faster than leading competitors, you'll get the perfect sleep environment every night. Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed? So you can choose your ideal comfort on either side. And now it's the Sleep Number Everything Smart Bed sale. Every smart bed and base are on sale during our Memorial Day event, up to 50% off, limited time, exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. See store or sleepnumber.com for details.
I thought we would have heard by now. We were promised a decision was drawing near on getting the Twins back on TV.
Yes, but now somebody told me that they've asked for just a little more time. Whoever owns Bally, whoever the outfit, to whether they really want to come out of bankruptcy or not.
Is Bally local?
Bally is a national outfit. What's the name of the...
Diamond Sports Group.
Yes, Diamond Sports Group, which was originally purchased by that right-wing news outfit purchased it originally.
I'll look it up.
What's that guy's name? And they owned it, and then they kind of branched it off to Diamond Sports, but originally it was owned by
Sinclair.
Sinclair. So it's. They didn't see it coming, man. When they paid all that money 6, 7, 8 years ago, they did not see the end of cable coming.
Here's what I don't understand, Patrick, because we were discussing this, the fellas and I, over a fresh cold one after a thorough defeat. The NBA just signed a $77 billion television contract in partnership with Amazon. Why can't baseball get its head out of its ass and figure this out?
Here's the problem. All the people who are complaining now about that, how are you going to like it when the NFL starts next year on a Thursday on whatever, on network,
Amazon.
And on Friday, their national game with the Packers is on Peacock. The streaming is coming. The streaming... that all these free games that you're used to seeing on the network within 2 or 3 years in the NBA commissioner basically has said that the regional sports networks are dead with this new deal that they have coming up. With they're taking it away from TNT, they're taking it away from if Bally still was in town with the Timberwolves, they will end up with less than half the games in the new deal because they're going to be national. They're going to be on streaming. They're going to be. It's a whole new world based on these. I can look at my apps, okay, that my domestic partner has ordered through the years. We got like 15 or 16 of them now, and there's more on the way if you're going to want to watch stuff. There's more on the way. The old network TV, over-the-air TV is dead. It's all
Is
it's
cable
all gonna
itself going to be dead?
Pretty much.
How are you supposed to get stuff?
With streaming.
It's got to get into your house.
Well, it's into your house now. You got YouTube. I get it on YouTube television, not YouTube,
So just the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, you just the
You don't
Wi-Fi.
need a cable.
No, you don't need a cable. You just get the Wi-Fi.
I'm lost, and I'll see you later.
Oh yeah, it's just getting. They remember last year all the screaming because the one game was on Amazon.
Oh, yeah.
And NFL last year.
It was Christmas Day.
Yeah. Well, this year the doubleheader.
You mean Peacock, because they have that Thursday night deal with Amazon.
We have
with
Amazon.
The doubleheader on Christmas Day this year, Netflix.
Oof.
I think it's on Netflix. I think. I mean, they're playing all these streaming services against each other.
Let's
and
go
it's,
back to the NBA for a minute.
Yeah.
You can't tell me that enough people to watch a regular season NBA game to have drummed up a $77 billion contract.
It wasn't that much.
Yes.
That's beyond my
over 11 years.
comprehension.
Over 11 years. So that's what. That's
$7 billion a year.
$7 billion a year.
That's beyond my comprehension.
Yes.
Is basketball more popular than baseball?
Yes. It's not close.
Jeez.
But basketball, a regular season basketball game on a Thursday night will do a 2 nationally. Right. I mean, it's all for the playoffs. It's all for the draft.
What will a weeknight national baseball game do? Will that do it too?
2, 1.5, 2. Yeah, nothing.
And baseball sitting there with no deal like the NBA.
Nope.
None.
Not yet.
Hockey might have a better deal than baseball.
I think hockey does. And that's the problem because, as Pat mentioned, the regional portion of the baseball television deals is what's crippling the game, in my opinion. I mean, you've got...
And they were more reliant on it. And you know what they had that the regional sports networks loved? Inventory. 162 a year, so... You got 150 of them. They had so many games they didn't put them all on for years and years and years. They had inventory to sell. Now they're everybody's saying that the regional sports. The big controversy here, Joe, is yes, the Yankees play thing is still worth hundreds of millions to the Yankees. The Dodgers, these are regional sports networks, and they, the big battle coming is baseball is going to try to take a lot more games away from away from the one out in L.A., away from those, and those outfits are making huge amounts of money off the regional sports networks, but everybody, the other 20, 25, like at Nesson, Boston, the Red Sox, I think they own Nesson, don't they?
Yes.
They own Nesson, and Nesson's huge. And baseball's saying, well, we're going to try to, get this onto a streaming services. So it's baseball's up against it. And our guys, once again, proudly telling us they can't spend the money
Can't
to get
make a
pitcher.
trade.
Can't do it unless we get rid of somebody. I've never seen a team so proud to tell us they're being cheap. I don't know. Shut up.
Why do they say that publicly?
Yes, right.
What are you doing?
Yeah, let us say, yeah. Well,
Hey, we know you can't watch us on TV,
Yes,
but we're
right.
also not going to get anybody because we can't afford
Who's
it.
making that decision?
Falvey. Falvey's the one that said it publicly.
Yes, but it's not his decision.
Got to be a poll ad decision.
True.
The poll ads are saying that they I don't know. I trace it to, and I might be crazy, but I trace it to commercial real estate. They have a lot of commercial real estate. United is one,
United Properties, yep.
United Properties. Commercial real estate isn't worth the paper it's printed on in many cases right now. So I got to think, I'm sure that, the fellas don't have to worry that the American Express card's not going to work when they go to dinner at night. But I got to think that the big pot might not be worth as much as it was a couple of years ago.
Are they still in banking, too? Do they still do that?
Oh, yeah, they're still in banking. They can borrow money from themselves. I don't know why they don't do that.
You own the Porsche dealerships.
Yeah. Glenn Taylor, when he signed Karl Anthony Towns the first time for $126 million, He went to a bank and borrowed the money and then paid it back through the years. I don't know. Why don't the Twins borrow the money to get a pitcher, and then pay it back over time?
How does that process work? Hey, I need $240 million.
Yes. And if you're to pull that, you know what the bank says? Okay, fine, thank you.
What are you looking at? 5-6 year term? What are you looking for?
Whatever you want, boys.
Well, they got an entire franchise to put up as collateral.
Yes, it's worth $1 billion.
Yeah.
Probably worth $1 billion if you were to sell it. So,
Where are we with that, by the way?
what?
The litigation between the A-Rod Lowry team and
I don't even
Red
know if I don't know if
Is that all done?
I don't know if the arbitration has even occurred yet. I don't know.
Okay.
The mediation didn't work after about 20 minutes. But
Was J-Lo one of many of A-Rod's female acquaintances?
he's had a few, yeah. He's had a
They
few.
were married.
Well, I don't
they
know.
never
I
got
don't think they ever got
never
married.
Oh,
They were a thing, as the kids call it.
I see.
Yeah. He's
She has children.
Yes.
Who was that husband?
That
wonder?
was Mark Anthony, I believe, a singer.
All right.
now. Is
She's
she back
kinda no-go
together? Is
zone.
she back together with Ben Affleck?
She is.
They were.
They're unhappy, Pat.
They're unhappy again.
Yeah, I think so.
They're not getting along.
I don't think they're together, Chris. I think they're unhappy.
Weren't they together once?
They were, yeah. The breakup didn't last, as Joe likes to say.
Okay.
So they got back
They
together.
got back together.
Yep.
Yeah. Well,
They're unhappy, Joe says.
I don't know. I think she probably still has options. So anyway.
I think she's probably
I don't know.
a gigantic
I don't quite know
pain
that.
in the ass.
But that said, the Twins, disappointing though they might be, not on TV. Man alive, Bailey Ober was good yesterday. Whew. He was sailing. And the thing about the Tigers is they were here a couple of weeks ago. The Twins beat them 2 out of 3 or 3 out of 4, right?
Yep.
Then they went and played great for about 10 days, and then the Twinks beat them 2 out of 3. So good for them.
Is the complete game now in the dustbin of history?
Probably. Ober had one last
He went
time.
through 8, right? You told
Yeah,
me.
but the last time he pitched 9. He did have a complete
Why
game.
wouldn't you let him pitch 9 innings yesterday?
Because why bother? You
God.
let him. You end up having to get him to the finish line. And the other thing is, they weren't going to bring him back out for the 9th anyway. But then they got 3 in the top of the 9th, so then they could use Thielbar instead of one of the big boys to end it. But if Ober had made it through the 2nd, made it through the 9th. And that would have been his second complete game. He would have been tied for the league lead.
Isn't that something?
2. Yeah.
Isn't
2
that something?
2 is the league lead. I think there's 2 or 3 guys with 2. So, but, just the way it is. They don't swing the bat as often. It's one of your problems is the hitters take too many pitches, right?
Yeah.
Back in the day, Yogi could have a 3-1 count and the ball was over his head. He'd swing at the damn thing.
Are the Tigers going to deal both of those guys, the pitchers?
It can't be that stupid. To
That
get rid of
Skubal's good.
Skubal's great. Now, if you're going to give up Holiday, the number 1 prospect in baseball,
From
then
Baltimore.
I'd make the trade.
make the trade too, yeah.
But Baltimore can't be that stupid. Baltimore's acting like they're favorites to win the World Series.
They might not even be the best team in their own division.
No, keep the young guys. So, anyway. I don't know, but the trade started like yesterday, and there's a few of them popping here. But
The Rays are going to end up having the 3 of us playing for them.
yes, they're
Tampa.
trading everybody that you could want to get rid of. They've made 2 or 3 more trades today, I think.
I was going to ask you, they do have a deal for a new ballpark, right? Tampa?
Yes,
And is it
in Tampa,
in Tampa?
down on the water.
That's right. We did talk about that.
Gonna make
Okay.
it a
With that
30,000
cover?
With a cover, 30,000 seats, and nobody's going to be able to get there. But anyway,
Will
Okay.
the cover be retractable?
I'm not sure, but I would hope so.
Is
it's
that-
beautiful down there in the water. That old,
Yeah.
what's the old hotel down there? Great old hotel.
I don't know.
V something.
Well, before they move, we should go do a live report from the old Tropicana field, the concrete dump.
Oh,
It seems
that's a dump. Just a dump.
It is a dump. And the thing about it is they know they're leaving. The city owns it. I think the city owns it.
St. Pete.
They've spent $812 maintaining it the last 10 years.
And to think the National Hockey League played in there.
Yes, they did.
That's amazing.
It is.
Just
they
amazing.
Packed them in too,
Yeah.
but I suppose they let people, sit upstairs for $2.
Didn't they originally build that because they tried to bring the Giants there, right? Back in the mid 90s or early 90s?
Well, the Giant and the White Sox.
And the White Sox.
Sox were going to come there, and the Giants were going to. And Cal, we threw that out for Calvin too. Was a possibility.
Really?
Yeah. That wasn't. But Harvey's buyout was. That was to keep him from going to Seattle, right?
I think
Was
so.
that where they were going to go? Yeah. Seattle, because Seattle was suing the American League because they gave him a team for 1 year and then they got up and went
Pilots?
for a walk.
The Pilots, which became the Brewers, right?
Yes. The greatest story ever. Our equipment trucks will be leaving Arizona like 6 days before the opener. When you get to Denver, call us and tell us whether you should go left or right. That's true. And they drove to Milwaukee. And they said the deal was complete. I mean, Seelig.
So this is right before the.
Right? Yes.
Wow.
6 days to go, and they'd start driving back.
How did they have a schedule?
Well, they had the schedule, but it does. If there's been a lot of guys who were playing in L.A. They're supposed to go to Seattle who ended up going to Milwaukee instead. Oof. But I don't think they adjusted the schedule. They just played it. But they, Seelig and his guys. Seelig was a Ford dealership guy. He wasn't like he was loaded with money. And I think he had one rich guy behind him. What was the guy's name? I can't. But one guy that had some money. But they ended up paying like $12 for the franchise. Wow. Because the Pilots were.
What year? That was early 70s?
Yeah,
69.
The Pilots moved into either Sick or Six, outdoors. Mm-hmm. It was their AAA stadium. They spent $50 fixing it up. Held like 19,000. Got rained out half the time, and they were bankrupt immediately. And they went in with Toronto or Kansas City. Kansas City went in, and
Kansas City.
They went in with Kansas City, Seattle, and then
Hey, what do you think of Johnny Vegas?
I was glad to see it. Seems like a nice fella.
Venezuelan.
Yes, and was a really good player there for a few years, and then he got shoulder surgeries and stuff like that. But you know what he had that was really appealing? The little kids to run out onto the green. You got to have the little kids out there that hugging her. He's 39 years old, but he had a 5-year-old, and he had a young girl, 11 or 12 years old, and they get to run out on the green. And
I thought maybe Kucher'd pull it off. He's 46.
He's had a terrible year. Mm-hmm. He's not. He has not played well. But I was out there when I didn't see. I wasn't down on the green, but the media tent shook when he chipped in on Saturday. Mm-hmm. It was he made eagle, and the crowd was pretty quiet. All of a sudden, gooch, and they went crazy. So they ended up with a pretty good finish because Saturday morning. They had some guys on a leaderboard that their wives didn't even know who the hell they were. But then it got better as it progressed.
Those wins are so important to somebody like Vegas.
Oh, God,
I
yes.
mean, he's set now through 2026.
Now, did you know the story of Maverick McNeely?
I don't know his story.
Maverick McNeely was the #1 amateur in the world playing at Stanford. Mm-hmm. And his daddy... Scott McNeely, in the early 2000s, was a partner in Sun Microsystems.
Oh, boy.
And they sold it for $2 billion in 20 years ago. And Scott supposedly got $925 of that. Mm-hmm. So, and then Maverick liked hockey. So Dad built a hockey rink next to the house. I mean, a hockey rink.
Yeah.
And this kid stands to, I think he's the only child, maybe, stands to inherit a lot of money. Mm-hmm. But he's been out there trying to play. And Here's the highlight of the Delta screw-up.
All right.
He's flying back from Britain
Yep.
after missing the cut at the British Open with his wife, who he just recently married. Attractive young lady. I saw.
Was she?
Yeah. A billionaire golfer.
I'm shocked.
Yeah, billionaire golfer. They ended up sleeping on the floor in Orlando just like everybody else did.
Really?
Yes.
Some golfers drove here
Yes.
because of the plane problems.
Yeah, it was brutal.
20-hour drives.
Yes.
I don't remember who they
got
were.
to New York and couldn't get out, and they couldn't get here. It was not a well-timed Delta mess, to say the least.
Now that's done now, aren't we? We're cleared
I
up.
think we're pretty good shape
Yeah.
now, but boy, it took 5 days.
You had the expert here moments ago. You should have asked him.
He wasn't briefed.
Oh, okay.
He has to go and get briefed.
Who's that?
Rook. He runs the airport.
I know he does.
He's in charge of all flights in the country.
That was the greatest response ever when Joe asked him a very specific airport-related question, and Rookie looks at him and says, I haven't been briefed.
It is amazing. He starts off pushing old ladies down the,
Yep.
BSing old ladies, pushing them down the ramps, and now he's running the damn place. He'll be on the 9-person deal out there. He'll be on the board pretty soon.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he will.
Chairman of the MAC. I'll
And
never
he'll say
fly
something.
again.
He'll say, and they'll come in for the meeting, and he'll jump out from behind
Right.
the corner. Ah!
It's working.
Yeah.
They keep moving him up.
Yeah, with his gorilla mask. Yeah.
Oh, he got me so bad one time with that.
He got me a couple of times at the old place, man.
1.4 for Vegas. You get to keep half that. That's not bad.
No,
700.
no, it wasn't a bad tournament. Now,
Where
I
the
did,
crowds were
yeah.
decent, I think.
they got better over the weekend,
Yeah.
but God, it was steamy Saturday. Wow, 90
Yep.
degrees, I guess it was. But a wind blew. They got lucky. The wind blew for 3 days, so they didn't tear it up as bad as they can. Yesterday, they didn't tear it up at all. What Vegas shoot 71 to win it?
His final round was a 70.
70. So,
shot
so one
267
under.
total.
One under.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's you going into the last day. You figure that those guys up in the top had to shoot 66 or 7 to win, but nobody tore it up.
Max Grayson
Grayson
shot 63 yesterday.
Now I've just heard this on TV. I was home. He has 2 kid brothers. They're an intellectual family. The old man's a Columbia professor, and the mother's does something. And but these 2 brothers, one of them's going to Stanford to play golf. The other's going to Columbia to play golf. And one of them just won the New Jersey State Amateur and will be here when the U.S. Amateur is held at Hazeltine in 2 weeks. Did you know that? We have the U.S. Amateur at Hazeltine.
What's the difference between the U.S. Amateur and the U.S. Junior? Age?
Yes, age. Junior, I think you got to be 21 and under, or 20 and under, I think. Or maybe 18 and under, I don't know. Tiger won the junior 3 years and then won the amateur 3 years, so that was good.
Rahm has finally won a live tournament.
Yes, he did. He
Who
finally
cares?
took an interest.
Yeah.
I turned it on briefly, and once again, they're telling me that the Wild Hogs are leading the Rabid Pigs by 8 shots and taking time up with the team thing, and 25% of the screen has got scores on the side. You got to put them underneath. You can't put them above. You dummies.
I think those guys have all become irrelevant.
Yes, they have. They're anonymous.
Even Rahm.
Anonymous, yeah. And they don't care.
And Dustin Johnson, with his attitude,
Yes.
he'd be lucky to get a job at Phelan.
Yes, right. He does.
He's just acting poorly.
He
I
does
think.
not care.
No.
He does not care. He was, he proved he doesn't care when he came in, and Hollis begged and pleaded with him to come here, and so he came here 2 years before Live started. And as I've said 18 times, 36th hole, he's in danger of making the cut. He fudging.
Yeah, he did.
Fudging hits in the water on purpose.
Yeah.
And
He went home.
So he can go home. That was close to saying.
Yeah, that's the
You know
beauty
what,
of the
though?
podcast.
It's a podcast. You could have said it.
Yeah.
We can chop her out at the end
The
of
last time I said it,
You wouldn't even have to chop it
The
out.
last time I said it on the air, we got poor Ethan fired, right?
it. No, I think you're mistaken. The last time you said hit it in the bleeping water, it was an accident. And that was the LPGA tour that you were commenting about.
Hit it in the flavor one. Pat, we're on.
But every time I need a pick-me-up, I like to listen to that once in a while.
Did that make the air?
Oh, it sure did. And that was when Roofsy was hitting the dump button like it was Morse code. And I looked and I said, Corey, you just have to hit it one time. Just once. And you're good.
Anyway, there's got to be some other sport. We've covered the Twins.
Wait.
What?
What?
You know what this is?
What?
Training camp season.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
And primetime preview.
Oh, and primetime preview.
Do you have anything for
well,
primetime preview?
Yes, Japan won the men's gymnastics today.
Wait, I was going to watch it
See, now
tonight.
you can't watch it.
China was second, and the U.S. won their first gymnastics men's medal in 16 years today. Finished third.
You want to know?
You know what? We are very chauvinistic in this country about not giving a damn about our men's gymnasts. The only ones we care about are the women, right? The
Yes.
men could win gold medals.
Played
if they
out
wouldn't
here.
care.
Remember the ticket price difference when
Yes.
it was at Target Center?
Yeah,
Somebody
right.
named Brody. Somebody.
You could have walked in for the men. They would have paid you to show up for the men's, and the women's was $500
Yeah,
to get in the
that's-
door.
Yes, it's.
Our big hopes were on Brody. Somebody.
I don't know.
He,
I don't know. This
he
was
fell
team-
off the bar the first day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he couldn't grab it. He was too far away from it.
This was team.
Yeah. No, this was
The
individual.
women don't do the. That's a men event, right? The grabbing the bar when they fly around. I
Women
don't
do
think-
that too.
Do they? I
Yeah.
don't think so.
Are we wasting all the big time events early in the Olympics? What's going to happen 2 weeks from now?
Gymnastics is always early.
Oh,
But
well-
now they got rhythmic gymnastics. They got all kinds of different.
Oh, we went through the list on Friday.
They got surfing at nearby Tahiti.
Boy, that would. If I'm working for NBC, I'll say
I'm
I'll
going to
cover-
Tahiti.
I got the surfing.
Surfing's all me.
Yes,
And
I'll-
sailing is over there someplace.
Yes. But
These are
did
10,000
you know
miles.
Nearby Tahiti.
Did you know that Tahiti was French Polynesia?
Yes, I did.
And there's 100 and some island or 1,000 little islands that the froggies still own. It's pretty
Where is
good.
that? It's kind of in the ocean between Hawaii and Australia.
Yes, it's in the middle of it's you gotta want to get there. You don't get there by accident, Tahiti. But I've heard nothing but good things about Tahiti. You know,
What's not to like?
Yeah,
It's an island in.
that's where Caitlin Clark should be this week.
It's south. What would that be? That'd be southeast of Bora Bora.
Yeah, that really helps us. It's like we're familiar with Bora Bora. I can picture it in my mind's eye. It's between Hawaii and
a lot
Australia.
of water out there.
No, it's further south than that, Such. It's halfway between South America and Australia.
Huh.
Yeah. Down there in the old South
So it's
Pacific.
down there at the Cape of Horn, down there near that.
No, that near the Cape of Horn.
Kind of, you got your
Isn't the Cape of
Tonga.
Horn the bottom of South America? Or is it the bottom of Africa?
I thought Horn was Africa.
I used to be a
You're faltering.
geography major, but I can't remember all I know is when Magellan went around,
Yeah.
he didn't get to go through the Panama Canal.
Well, it wasn't
He had,
built.
he had to go all the way.
All the way
That's
around.
That's a big continent he had to go around.
That's
That was
right.
a long walk. You know? You know what? When you're on those trips like those guys used to make, you better like each other. I mean, you gotta get along because you're out there.
You're out there for a while.
And the other guy don't smell that good, you
No.
know. And it had to be tough. It had to be tough.
And all the booze was rationed.
Yes, right.
So it's not
The
like he could
captain
just.
hogged the
Yeah,
booze.
he had it in his locker room.
Yeah, right. That would have been tough, man. That would have been tough. The funny thing is, they get back like 4 years later and they say, "Yeah, I want to do that again. I'm going to go someplace else." Now, Columbus, I didn't realize, Columbus 1492.
Right.
He also got to Trinidad the next trip, like Trinidad Tobago.
I didn't know he made a second trip.
Yeah, he did. That was like
It was the sequel.
1498 or something.
Really?
So he went home, and the Queen gave him a bunch of prizes, honors, and then he started out again.
And didn't that lead then to the unfair advantage that they had in soccer? Because
Yes,
Trinidad and Tobago got to gang
both.
up on us.
Yes, they did. Tobago doesn't have many people. Tobago is a little island.
Yeah, but at least they get to compete in the Olympics. My Anguilla doesn't get to.
I think, as the voice of Anguilla,
We're number
as the
one there.
official voice, you ought to complain bitterly.
I started the show complaining about it. I'm desperate.
Yes. What is the population of Anguilla?
14,000.
Really?
About 14,000.
And where are
We're
we
number
at?
one.
Where at? How far south?
Well, it's right there. It's right off. It's just east of Puerto Rico.
So,
Boy, we are doing geography today.
So Burl, not
Burl, I'm glad you
Barrel,
pronounced it Burl, yeah.
Burl missed them. Missed
Burl
Anguilla.
did not hit my Anguilla.
That's good.
We're good.
That's good. Anguilla. I mean, they had some countries. They had one country that had one Olympian and like 6 officials.
If you are to
We
fly,
don't need 6 officials for one Olympian.
if you are to fly American Airlines from Anguilla to Tahiti, it's 20 hours and 55 minutes with one stop in either Miami or Los Angeles.
Anguilla's got
20 hours?
20 hours. I just looked up the Google flights for that.
You want to be up front.
Isn't that about as long
Wanna
of?
be up front.
Isn't that about as long a flight as there is then?
Well, you do have to make 2 stops.
What's
so-
the longest flight you can make in this on Earth?
But do you want to know what the round trip cost is?
Yeah.
You can get there for the low price of $9,091 right now on Expedia. Okay, what's the longest flight?
What's
Is that what
the
you-
longest flight on Earth? It had to be Edmonton to Dallas during the Stanley Cup.
I mean Miami.
Miami, yeah.
Or South Pole to North Pole's got to be pretty long.
That'd be long, but
Yeah.
not a lot of. There's not a lot of traffic there.
All right, the longest
Sid's one of
flight.
Sid's great Jerry Zalgota, when we had the new Tribune was going to have these special sections there in the late 90s that we were going to do, and Zagota was doing outdoor adventures, and he went to Tasmania. He went to like way down there. He was going to the South Pole,
Okay.
and he was gone forever. And Sid, for years, called him Mr. North Pole. There's Mr. North Pole.
Sid does not strike me as a guy.
It was the other one, Sid.
He doesn't strike me. He would have been a good geography guy.
No. Too
They're going to
impatient.
be okay.
Too impatient.
Did you find me the longest flight?
North Pole. Yes, but this is in terms of the longest nonstop
Commercial.
flight.
Okay, what's
other
the
one,
longest nonstop?
The other ones had stops involved. The other one I mentioned had stops involved. Right now, Joe, the longest nonstop flight path, according to AFAR, which is a flight simulation website, is New York from JFK to Singapore. 9,585 air miles, an estimated flight time of 18 hours and 50 minutes
New York to
nonstop.
Singapore.
18.5.
I bet you fly over the Atlantic. I bet you don't go over L.A. I bet you go.
Bet you go that way?
I bet you go
You might
the
go
England way.
Yeah, probably.
It's like the Seattle Pilots. Which way are we going to go? Left or
Right,
right?
call us.
You give us
Now,
a call.
Singapore, Hong Kong, China owns that one, but Singapore is independent, right?
Watch this.
I think Singapore.
Watch this.
No, see, you just got to. I shouldn't even have brought
This
this
is the
up.
greatest thing. This is an app called Flight Radar
Okay.
2020. Flight
See if
something.
anybody's flying in there?
Well, I can.
He was monitoring Rookie's flight back from.
Look at this now. Look at this.
Okay.
There's all the flights that are up around us.
Okay.
All I got to do is press on the plane. Here's one coming in, Pat. Oh, That's Dublin to Minneapolis will be arriving in 13 minutes.
Wow.
You'd
on
like
time?
this, yeah.
Are they on time?
They don't tell you if you're on time or not.
It's at home.
But now when you're flying across the ocean,
Yeah, Dublin, that's the Catholics are coming in, not the Protestants.
right? You've flown across the ocean many times.
Yes.
And don't you feel like you're alone out there?
Yes, right. There's more of you do. You know what that proves? The ocean's a big place.
It is.
And those hotels, they'd be screwed
Now
without
here,
that ocean.
let's go. And you say Tahiti's where?
It's halfway between South America and Australia.
Well, here's Fiji. Here's Samoa. Well, where the hell is the other one? Well, what's this? That's Samoa. Okay, this is Niue, Niue. I never even heard of that
I'm
one.
not going there.
I'm not either. But I can't find Tahiti. I'd have to spend more time on my map. But here's a plane right here.
Where's Fiji?
Here's Pat. Watch this. This is Auckland to Apia, wherever that is. Now here comes the plane coming in. Tokyo to Auckland.
Wow.
Now, it only left Tokyo 8 hours ago. It's going to arrive in an hour and 6 minutes.
So, Patrick, do you know what this is a direct result of?
What?
The Twins not being on TV.
Yes, it is.
Anything else you want to know?
No, I think we're good.
New Caledonia, you want to know anything about that? I got that
As
on
Kenny
here.
pointed out, it's when he brought this up on Garage Logic, it's a damn shame we can't take calls anymore because guys would be calling, what time's that flight from Auckland?
I can tell you.
New Caledonia, is New Caledonia
What's this?
south of like the, did we have to go through New Caledonia to make it to Tokyo during World War II or not?
Here's Taha and Mount Tumaru. You heard of these?
Nope.
Boy, I got flights there. I can tell you. Look at this guy right here. Click on him. That's Bora Bora to Papeete.
And we got accused of talking nonsense the last week ago. What's wrong with people?
This is just addictive. Oh, look at
we
this
can-
big guy
we
here.
can tell.
Oh,
Is she a big one?
Papeete to L.A. Yeah, they're coming in. There you got them. You got them.
Anyway, I love the opening ceremonies, even though other
did?
people didn't, because the French making fun of themselves. I think. You ever been to
What
Paris?
makes you think
I
they
have
were
not.
making fun of it? Hey, what makes you think they were making fun of themselves?
Oh God, Marie Antoinette with no head on. They were the two guys and a gal running down the
How
street
about the
together.
fat guy sitting there with the crown on? What is he? What was that?
King Louis, or
I
probably
don't know
something.
what
They
the
were
hell it
making
was.
fun of themselves. They were great.
So you're saying I should take the misses?
Take the misses, leave the two little.
You got to
guys.
hurry up
Leave
though,
the-
because it's not going to be Paris much longer.
Why?
Well, it'll be, it'll be one of the stand countries.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine.
It's okay.
I'd love to go. I would love it.
It's fantastic. It's and you
The
know
food?
what?
How's the food?
Food's great, and you don't start eating until about 10:30.
Pat, I don't like Paris.
You don't?
I was treated poorly there. I don't like it.
In what way, sir?
They just didn't. I don't think.
Wait, were
they
you
liked
treated
it.
poorly by your companion, or were you?
Well, both, but
I think. How many years ago were you there?
most recently there in I don't know, 06 maybe.
Okay, I think there's a lot more English speakers there than there
They
used
don't.
to
They
be.
didn't. It appeared to me they didn't suffer Minnesotans gladly.
I don't know. I kind of.
Oh,
enjoy it.
shucks, don't you know?
Hey, you got any rabbit?
Yeah, they'll cook you a rabbit.
I've had rabbit
They
there.
will cook you a rabbit.
What do they call it? What is it?
What's that called, Pat?
Hassenpfeffer. Is that Hassen?
That's in Germany.
Oh, that's
I don't
Germany.
know what they call it.
What do they
The
call
rabbit.
Right.
it? Z.
The
Schumacher.
rabbit.
You know who would make you a rabbit back in the day?
Who's that?
Schumacher's at New Prague.
Oh, really?
But they're not, long gone. But they were great.
French rabbit.
Rare bit. Rare B-I-T, I believe. Rare bit.
Rarebit. Welsh rarebit.
Welsh rare bit.
What is rabbit meat called?
Welsh
in
rarebit's
France?
a sauce
Is it
or something.
Turenj? Turing?
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 Turing.
Rabbit
don't
meat.
I'll tell you what, though.
Rabbit ain't bad.
before we left, the night we left the first time we were there, Katie and I were staying in this little hotel. I had a hunk of sole that would make you weep. It was so good. Fish. Ooh, it was great. And then Katie had something she didn't like, so I had to give her half my sole.
Really?
Yeah, because it was a sauce she didn't like. So what an act of love that was.
That, you know what? That
It
right
was.
there.
Give her half my
What
soul.
an act of love.
All right, sit there looking at me with those sad eyes. Here's half my soul.
Can I get you some rabbit?
I'd say this has been one of our more nonsensical.
Here comes Dubai to Chicago. Dubai.
Is it flying over
You
us?
got
left
any interest in going to Dubai?
Huh? No.
Got any interest?
No, it left Dubai 13 hours and 6 minutes ago. It'll arrive in Chicago. It's over Marquette, Michigan right now, but she'll be in Chicago in 48 minutes.
My nephew, Joe, the genius, is in the investment business that they take care of. I think one rich guy they take care of. He's been over there about 6 times.
Really?
I don't know if we're borrowing Dubai money or they're borrowing his guy money, but he's a Dubai regular.
Really? Mm-hmm. And he only works for one guy.
I don't think he's expanded. I think one family maybe.
That has some money.
Back in they got some money, and they're always interested in getting more of it.
That's good. All right.
Okay.
Good.
I need to hear
What,
from Jim Paul's Valley Automotive Group, Patrick,
that's
before
right.
we head
that's
out.
right. That's right. Speaking of, you want to save money right now? Jim Paul and Brett Paul's Valley Group of GM dealers. Low interest rates and factory rebates on many, many vehicles, Buicks and GMCs. Full stock. Check them out. 0.9%, 1.9%. And as I said, factory rebates. No more chip problems. We got them all. We got every model you could hope for in the GMC Buick field, and I can't recommend them highly enough. I've bought my last 5 or 6 cars from Jim Paul and Brett Paul, and we'll continue to do business with them. They're fantastic. So, looking for that late summer vehicle, you still got time to buy one and take it to the lake with the whole family. Get ready for the hockey season with one of those SUVs. Anyway, Jim Paul, Brett Paul, Valley Group of GM dealers, Apple Valley, and Hastings. Go